thou shalt create shared dreams together. Now, most couples don't do this. They don't create their dreams together. Instead, they focus on their own view. Their own viewpoint and perspective is the best way, the right way.
Yeah, so as a result, they just get stuck, and instead of working together, they consciously or they unconsciously sabotage their dreams, for working together as a couple.
Yeah, absolutely. And it happens time and time again. I think it's the unconscious sabotage that we most need to be aware of, because, it just gets in the way. And it really isn't your fault, because we live in a world where we're told me first. You get on an aeroplane, put on your own oxygen mask first. And we've never really learned how to have the kind of conversations where you work together as a team. And the truth is that what we find is most couples actually want the same thing. They just don't know how to have those conversations. So, one person will give a perspective, and the other one will dig their heels in, and or otherwise it'll either be an all-out war or a complete standoff. And right underneath it all, if we can have the right kinds of conversations, then we do find that we both absolutely want the same thing.
Yeah, exactly. And in the early days, I'd be entrepreneurial, and I'd come up with a new business idea, and then I would feel that Chris was, kind of getting defensive, or she was, she didn't like my idea, so I would get defensive. And when we learned to talk about it and just say, well, what do you really want? When I was a lot more open, I'd say, well, I've got this idea. Is it okay if we talk about it? And I want to understand what you want as well. And then we'd both hear our shared dreams, our shared viewpoints and our shared what we both wanted. Then we'd come up with something that was miles better.
Absolutely. And I think one of the phrases that helped us most was the fact is we're on the same team.
Yeah.
The idea that we're on the same team. We're not against each other. We're for each other. And if you want to grow old together and enjoy the weddings and the grandchildren, then you need to make sure that you're creating shared dreams together.
Yeah, and it's really interesting, because when our daughter got married a few years ago, I was walking down the aisle. The very first thing that went through my head is, I'm just so glad that I'm here, because there was a time in our relationship where I wasn't sure if we're going to make it. We just kind of got lost along the way, like a lot of people do. And yet I remember back then that the most important thing to me was being there for the kids, being there so we could grow old together and enjoy the weddings and enjoy the grandkids. And to actually be here now is kind of scary. It's thinking, well, where did that last 20 years go? But now our daughters and and her partner, her husband, they've now had a beautiful granddaughter, Donnie. So we're now spending time together, and we're babysitting our granddaughter together and enjoying those times.
Yeah, so if your marriage is at that stage where maybe it is just hanging on with by a thin thread, or it's the kids that are holding it together, then there is hope. Grant and I, we've been married now 35 years, just celebrated the 35th wedding anniversary. Of course, there's been ups and downs in that time. And as well, we've made it our mission in life to learn the very best strategies for creating marriages that really work. $1 million marriages, we call them.
Yeah, it's really simple. It's really simple. It's not easy, but when you get this right, you can enjoy the next 20, 30, 40 years together.
Yeah, and everything that we do in $1 Million Marriage is in fact simple. That doesn't mean easy. There's often a gap between simple and easy, but they are simple tools. And we use a process called the Shared Dreams and Purpose Discovery. So if you'd like it and a copy of the other commandments of $1 Million Marriage, then click on the link below and we'll happily send you a copy.